Welcome to another RSR. Tonight, I'm reviewing Chelsea FC 1, Djurgården IF 0 in the 2024-25 UEFA Conference League semifinal leg 2. 5-1 on aggregate for Chelsea. They get the win. They move on to the Conference League final. It looks as of now, as I'm speaking, it will be Betis to play them in the final in Wrocław, Poland. But that might change. But as of now, it looks like it'll be Chelsea-Betis. And Chelsea does their job when it comes to this game. Was it pretty? No. Was it great? No. They scored a goal. They won outright. At least they won outright this time. 5-1 on aggregate. They're in the final. Wasn't the best game, but they showed their levels. Djurgården, they did rotate Chelsea. Chelsea did rotate. But Djurgården did show that they deserved to be here. They could hold their own. Sadly enough, they didn't do that last week. But with that being said, goal was scored as follows. 38th minute, Kieran Dewsbury Hall, assist by Tyreek George. Dewsbury Hall has it, takes the shot, past the keeper, off the post and in. 1-0, 5-1 on aggregate. Halftime it was 1-0, 5-1 on aggregate. It stays that way through full time. 1-0, 5-1 on aggregate for Chelsea. Full-time stats are as follows. 17 shots to 12, 5 shots on goal to 3, 65% possession to 35% possession, 678 passes to 368, 92% pass accuracy to 89% pass accuracy, 5 fouls to 20, 2 offside to 2, 1 yellow card to 1, 0 red cards to 0, 7 corners to 3. Again, Chelsea did their job. This can't be that long of a review because, let's be honest, there's nothing really for me to say that I haven't already said. Chelsea won 1-0, 5-1 on aggregate. They did their job. They held on. They're going to the final. Was it pretty? No. Did they play a better game at home this game than they did against Legia Warsaw? Oh, for sure they did. That game was a wake-up call. They've been playing better since, which makes me think Chelsea can actually win the final. At this point, I think Chelsea can win the final. They're the slight favorite now. Betis doesn't look unbeatable. I'll say that much as well. Chelsea looks like they'll get top 5 and go to the Champions League next year. And you want a trophy with that. And right now, with the way Chelsea's playing, I think that's enough. Did they put out their best 11? If they did put that best 11 out, I think the game would have been much better for Chelsea. I think they would have had a bigger scoreline and they would have won by more. But that would have been stupid because they got meaningful Premier League games to play before we play this final. They play all the rest of their Prem games before the final of this tournament. And they got meaningful games to play. So why put out your best 11 when you're trying to get top 5 Champions League spot? At this point, this tie was over last week when it was 4-1 in Sweden. You didn't have to do that much. And they didn't. Do you want more? Yeah, you probably want more, but the thing is you already have enough to advance. So advance. And don't completely melt down like you did 3 weeks ago or whatever against Warsaw. But again, I think they've had a wake-up call from that game. I think what that game was something they needed. They needed a wake-up call to save them from falling apart at the end of the season. Ever since that game, they've been winning. They haven't lost once. They look like they're locked on to get top 5. All they have to do is beat Newcastle. I think they would beat United, but at this point, all the games they have are winnable. They honestly should win. Probably Newcastle's probably the hardest game, but at this point, when it comes to the Prem games, Newcastle's probably the hardest game. And Betis, that could be hard. Yeah. Wouldn't shock me. It's a final. But we see what happens there. Those 2 games probably are the hardest. Forest is falling apart at the worst time possible. And Man United's Man United. Yeah, they made a European final. Congratulations. They sucked this year. I think Chelsea should be able to handle that. With that being said, you get the Forest win and United win. That probably should be enough to get top 5. I think at this point, Chelsea gets top 5. If they beat Newcastle, that's amazing. But really, at this point, this review is more of a state of where they are, because that's exactly what this is. I mean, they're going to a European final. They're going to the Conference League final. They're going to play Betis, most likely, at this point. That's what it looks like right now, as I'm speaking. That might change. Once this video comes up, it might be Fiorentina. Who knows? So, let's not take total stock into what I said. This is where I'm recording it right now. I have the game on my TV as I'm talking, so I know what's going on. But right now, like, I don't really see Chelsea the way they're playing right now since they got that wake-up call. I don't see them being underdogs. I think they're favorites or equal in every match they're going to play left this year. If they don't get top 5 and Europa Conference League, that is a failure. Simple. At this point, you want the Champions League spot, as well as the Conference League. For a while, especially after the turn of the year, I'd say it was like one or the other. You get one or the other, you're happy. You get both, you're over the moon. At this point, I think it's damn near locked on. We need both. Chelsea did their job today. That's the good news. The bad news, well, I don't know if there's any bad news. I would say no. With that being said, I don't think there's any bad news. No. We'll go with it. But speaking of good news, we have new members because Dylan gave us 10 gifted memberships on this channel today during the stream. 10 new Dynasty stars. They all are in the list of members now. If they stay over the month, they will be on the list for a month until the gift runs out. If they stay on their own volition, they will stay on the list, even if they go down to Dynasty Squad. But we have 10 new members for a month. So hopefully you enjoy the end of the month, run it back month ahead, and all the ones from the past, because I guess you could watch those too. Thanks, Risklander, for pointing that out for me. You can watch those as well. So we got 10 new members. Congratulations. Welcome to the crew. Welcome to the Dynasty Stars. And that's awesome. So thanks, Dylan, for the 10 gifted memberships. Welcome to the 10 gifted recipients of those memberships. And we move. Your name is on the list for a month, and if you stay, it'll be there longer. With that being said, there you go. With that being said, if you like this stream, like it, share, subscribe. Video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send super chats on live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlists. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you tomorrow for a live watch along, 5:55 Central, 6:55 Eastern, for a live watch along and review of Toronto Maple Leafs at Florida Panthers, Game 3 of Round 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. We keep going. Saturday, TFC plays DC at 3:30 Central, 4:30 Eastern, so we'll be here for that as well, live review. But Leafs, then TFC, Friday's Leafs, Saturday's TFC. There you go. So I will see you tomorrow. Let's go, Chelsea. Come on, Chelsea. Up the Chelsea. We go to a final. We follow them all the way. Told you we would. There you go. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. See you.